Hey, all of you out there in Eorzea, welcome to She Heals, I Tank, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. I almost forgot what we were doing there for a second. Today is Friday, December 6th, and this is episode 196 of the Shit Podcast. I'm your host, Vegan Pete, and always by my side, my better half, the lovely...
Hey guys, Avi Ale here. Hey Pete, so you got something planned for 4 weeks from now when we're going to do our 200th episode?
I do not.
Shocking.
I think we should just troll people and not have an episode.
Ooh, no, because then the next episode would be the 200th. We'd be like, it's the next episode.
We'll just call it 201.
No.
Thank you for being here, as always, Avi. It's good to be back after a week off for Thanksgiving. We've got a great show for you tonight. And don't forget, it is the first episode of the month. And if you've been joining us for a while, you know what that means. If you're joining us for the first time, that means we open up a segment we call the Community Roundup to you, the community. This is your chance to call in, let the people know what you have going on, what a friend has going on, something you've created.
Or you just want to get it going on.
Or something that you've seen that you really like. They don't have to be your friend. You can just really enjoy what they're making, and you're like, what the fuck? This deserves way many views than it has.
Or listens.
That wasn't a really good sentence.
Or
way
likes.
more many.
Way more many. Also, I like that Gator Pants was a very Final Fantasy thing to say, that instead of going straight to episode 200, we go to episode 199.1, 199.2. We just released like little additions to the previous one.
I like that idea. But yes, there are many creative people in this great Final Fantasy XIV community. We like to hear what you have going on. And speaking of creative, awesome, amazing people, we got some subs to shout out this week, Avi.
Quite a few, honestly.
We got a couple first-time subs from Argonaut54 and Pazrail0. Some 2-month subs from Nahaj, Not Papaya, Connolly, Whimsical Angel 394, and Fenris Wolfbane.
Woohoo! Thank you for coming back.
3 months, we have Aoi Mizuki. I can never say that first word right. Slightly Dizzy, and Johnny Smith Apple. For 4 months, we have Sweecy, and that was a tier 3 sub.
Oh no, you have my face.
At 5 months, we have Holden Koffel, Kaiser Crades, Chance M5. 7 months, we have Aurora 42. 8 months, we have Mocha Jones 10 and Bread Hater. For 9 months, we have Michael 9560. And at 28 months, we have The Real Hot Chili Pepper.
Oh my gosh, I like how it goes from 9 to 28. Yeah. Also, DRTV Dakota just subbed for a tier 1 for 2 months in a row. You like us enough to stick around.
Thank you so much for coming back. And thank you to everyone joining us here live at twitch.tv/SheHealsITank. Or if you're listening via the podcast or watching later on YouTube, just Google She Heals I Tank and you'll find some way to get your shit fixed. If
you Google shit, it won't work. You won't get the same stuff.
It might. We might be the top of the shit mountain.
We're the best of the worst.
For all you fecal philiacs out there. We've got Yoshida interviews to talk about, news on the next live letter, and a special Final Fantasy XIV stream. Lots of fun stuff, but before we get
What do you mean special Final Fantasy XIV stream?
There's a special Final Fantasy XIV stream that we're going to talk about.
Oh, well, yeah, I get it now. I was like, I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
That's what happens when she doesn't read the outline.
No, I read it. It didn't make sense.
Lots of fun stuff, Avi, right?
Yes, I'm tired.
Get hype.
It's been a long week.
I don't want to hear about you being tired.
Yeah.
You're done with school. You should be 100.
Oh, God, no.
Keeping it 100. But before we get to all that amazing stuff, we have everyone's favorite segment.
Greenleaf Minute.
It's the Greenleaf Minute, and I'm proud of myself for not accidentally hitting the Tweet of the Week sound effect like I did last week.
That was awesome.
It's the Greenleaf Minute, and do you want to take this one since I just did the intro, Avi?
Sure. And this week we're going to talk, I think it's something we may have actually talked about in the past.
I think we talked about this when it was first announced a really long time ago, and it's been so long that I had forgot about it.
I forgot about it as well, and I actually had installed it and then forgot about it, never used it. But it's a really helpful tool to help keep your retainer's inventory nice and neat. So especially for any of you who like to craft and gather and hoard a lot of junk, or maybe you like to hoard glamours that you can't all fit in your dresser.
Got a lot of junk in your trunk.
This tool is here to help you. Is a browser extension that you can use on Chrome or Firefox, and it's called Retain Me Not. Not Retail Me Not, Retain Me Not.
That's what I do when you tell me about lore. I do not retain it.
Nope, I know. Add that to your extension, you know, like Google it, find it as an extension, and then you're going to head over to the lodestone and log in with your character, and then select the character you want to arrange your retainer's inventory on. Within your character profile, you're going to go to your retainers section, which is actually at the top section of the web page, and then you're going to click on inventory, and under inventory you'll see a new tab on the right that is now there because of the extension, and it is called Retain Me Not. Crazy, right? So you're going to click right on that little button right there, and that is going to give you a wonderfully neat little organized report. It's going to allow you to work off of in order to arrange your inventory. It lets you know what items can be placed in your armoire, what items can be repurchased from the calamity salvager, which items can be repurchased from the recompense officer, repurchased with Gil, and it even tells you if you have multiple stacks of the same item on multiple retainers that can be combined to make sure that you're using your space as effectively as possible. I believe the list updates only about once a day. We checked it today earlier, and it updated about 9 a.m. this morning, Pacific Standard Time. So if you do a lot of reorganization with the hopes that like maybe taking stuff out of your saddlebags and putting your retainers just to let that do the work for you, then you'll want to probably wait till the next day. So do that before you're ready to start going into the next day and reorganize it all.
Yeah, it only works for the items that you have in your retainer. It does not work for the chocobo saddlebag. At the moment,
or your inventory.
Or your inventory. But I was doing a little bit of housekeeping this weekend, and that's why I'd forgot about it for so long. I was like, wasn't there something that helped me do this like 2 years ago?
Right.
And I had totally forgotten about it, and it's an amazing extension.
And I shared in the chat, I shared a Reddit link that also has, within the Reddit link, it's the person who created it, the add-on links for both of the Chrome and
we'll link
Firefox.
that in the show notes.
Oh, we will.
All right, Avi, your favorite segment? It's the tweet of the week. It is the tweet of the week.
I'm so not sad that my headphones aren't as loud for that moment. They're very
and
quiet.
This person has multiple tweet of the weeks in their career, I believe. This one again is from Ace Kaneki, and he tweets, at @SheHealsITank, I love meeting people from the podcast in random places like dungeons. And then posted a screenshot of someone from the Zalera server who messaged him, random question, Ace. Do you call into the She Heals I Tank podcast? Your name sounds familiar. And he says, yep, that is me. And then she responded, haha, nice, small world, nice to meet you. Making friends, Avi.
I think that's so cool. I love
Podcast
that.
is bringing people together.
Because it doesn't happen to me very often, even when my character is recognized in game. So
You
for
should
someone,
call into the show more often.
yeah, someone who call right, someone calls into the show and they're recognized. I think that's so wonderful. I think that's cool. It's like people making friends through podcasting.
Chili told me a story. Someone asked him, are you Chili from the She Heals I Tank podcast?
He's like, no, I'm from freaking PlayStation Unchained, and I'm from Moogle Go
He's
Round.
like, you know me from a million podcasts.
You know me from all the things.
Thank you so much. That was amazing to see, Ace. Really appreciate you sharing that with us. Now it's time for news and notes from around the realm.
We are a week out from the next live letter. December 13th will be the 56th edition of the Producer
Damn it.
Live Letter.
If I would have known you were going to read it, I would have used Roman numerals.
It will be at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so you can listen to us and then switch over to the live letter once we wrap up the show. How does that make sense? You said a.m. here.
Oops, I meant p.m.
It's 8:30 p.m.?
Yes.
So it'll be at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You'll be able to watch it on Twitch, YouTube, and Nico Nico. They are going to break it into two parts, the first of which will be a preview for patch 5.2, and the second part will be a Q&A session with the sound director, Masayoshi Soken.
We know Soken.
I know. And there is a thread in the official forums that you can go to and post your questions for Soken. Unfortunately, the broadcast will be in Japanese only, and it does not look like there will be a translator. So look around on Twitch for someone doing live translations, and the Final Fantasy XIV Reddit Discord is also incredibly helpful for keeping up with the info as it is released.
And the live letter will actually be taking place during this year's 14-hour broadcast. That's the special Final Fantasy 14 stream I was alluding to, Avi.
As soon as you explained what it was, I was like, oh, it's the 14-hour broadcast. But just with you saying it, my brain didn't
The 14-hour broadcast starts at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so the live letter is right after their intro. After the live letter, it will be NGC's Final Fantasy XIV Season 5 at 11 p.m., where Yoshi P will challenge a quest prepared by special hosts Ito-san and Fumaichi. From 1 a.m. to 2:30 a.m., it will be a stroll with Yuichi. Yuichi Nakamura is the Japanese voice actor for Thancred. He will be joining Yoshi P on a leisurely stroll through a random world in Final Fantasy XIV. They're planning on challenging some duties and visiting player houses. I hope they visit my house and they'll be like, this is shit. Let's take away his house. He doesn't deserve it.
I think so.
From 6 to 9 a.m., they are having an after party, but they didn't have any details on what that will be yet.
That's because it's an after party. You have to be in the know to know about the after party.
Or
you can know what's happening.
Go to Twitch and watch it.
Well, that's part of it.
Throughout the broadcast, starting at 8 p.m., there will be a Mahjong tournament.
I will not watch that at all.
Hell yeah.
Nope, not even almost that. Not gonna even a little bit. Nope.
So it's a 14-hour tournament, so that means there will be one game of Mahjong.
Sounds about right.
I'm not sure if there's going to be some picture-in-picture action or they're going to switch to the tournament between segments, but we'll be able to see some of that during the broadcast. Special guests for
It's going to be in a little, they're going to be talking about stuff, and in the corner it's going to be and at the Mahjong table, they're still going. Current standings are the same as they were last time.
It goes much quicker. Quit your bitching.
Yeah, instead of 14 hours, it will be 12?
They're going to play 500 games.
Also, Mug Moxie, thank you so much for that sub. We really appreciate you. You're almost at the year mark. You get the new Twitch emote with the crown. Or not the crown, the golden crown. Yeah. Yeah.
Special guests for the tournament are Yasumi Matsuno, the CEO of Algebra Factory Inc., Yosuke Saito, a member of the board and at Square Enix, Hiroshi Takai, development supervisor, Kazutoyo Mahiro, development supervisor, Masayoshi Soken, who we know from before as the sound director and composer, Nobuaki Komoto, lead game designer, Masaki Nakagawa, lead battle content designer, and Arata Takahashi, lead level designer. And it's a good thing I got to those names before I had too many beers.
So no, I was actually thinking before you got to Nobuaki Komodo that I was like, you're actually doing a really good job pronouncing the names, Pete.
I thought that in my head too, and then I'm like, nah, you fuck up.
Oh, that's why I was like, did I jinx you? No, you jinxed yourself. I feel better about that. I don't know that you were necessarily pronouncing him correctly, but you were owning the pronunciation.
I was confident.
Yeah, and that's enough sometimes.
The MC of the tournament will be Mika Yazuki from Japan Professional Mahjong League, and live commentary will be from Fumiyoshi Yamada, and they just have him listed as professional. I'm assuming that is a professional Mahjong player. If not, I'm assuming they're a professional hitman.
Ooh. So now we're going to talk about some patch 5.15 updates.
Hell yeah.
First of all, Blue Mage. Not only...
Oh, not hell yeah.
Are we getting some new spells with 5.15, but it has been announced that Blue Mage is getting what appears to be, and Pete should be showing you guys an image of that, their own Blue Mage only duty finder. You should definitely head over to the Final Fantasy special site to check out the screenshots because it does seem like some sort of duty finder that almost has a hunt element added in. You'll see at the bottom it mentions a special hunt or something. I can't read the size of the thing that Pete's got up.
Yeah, I can't read it either.
You don't know how to read.
Because I don't know how to read.
Right. But it's really, really cool. And I think it's a really awesome addition to Blue Mage. I think it's definitely necessary. And then the next thing that was really excited that they announced is a new mount.
Wait, I want to talk about this Blue Mage thing.
Oh.
Because I think it's really cool. Because I kind of enjoyed going around and getting all of the new abilities for Blue Mage. And I got all of the abilities except for the ones that I had to queue with others for dungeons for, because I found that really tedious. I'd have to put a party finder up or
You couldn't just do it.
beg people to
Right.
bring me through. So now that they have like a duty finder or party finder, I think it's a duty finder, and I can just get paired up with other people, I might actually do Blue Mage again. I just hated having to form my own group for it.
I honestly forgot about Blue Mage, and I didn't have you guys know I didn't have a whole lot of time to play. Maybe I'll go back and
I had no idea.
that. So mean to me. Always so mean. And well, I know I don't collect things. I know I'm the rarity when it comes to a Final Fantasy MMO. I don't care about owning all the things. I only want to own the things that I enjoy playing with or I enjoy looking at. Like, that's how I am with things in life, and that's how I am with things in game. Like, if it's, I don't need to own the thing to complete the set unless completing the set gets me the thing that's really pretty after it that I want.
That's why she's got a crazy My Little Pony collection.
Dude, I used to play with some My Little Ponies like hella whoa.
Like hello whoa,
Yep.
by the way.
That's what My Little Ponies bring out of me. But I didn't really play Blue Mage because it just felt like I was collecting spells to do nothing with them.
That was part of the thing for me. I thought Blue Mage was going to be like crazy overpowered once you got these spells, and I could just go around fucking shit up, like just for funsies, maybe doing my, whatchamacallit, not the challenge log, the one you get from the little girl in Idleshire.
I just told you I didn't do all of them, so I can't answer
No,
your
I'm
questions.
talking about that thing where you have to do different content. Wondrous Tales.
Oh.
I was hoping I could like do a lot of that solo. I mean, you can do it pretty much solo on a level 80 now.
Kind of
But
antiquated,
I
yeah.
just wanted to go in with the Blue Mage and just like nuclear bomb everything.
But it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, I wasn't overpowered like I was hoping, so I kind of
Not even for a little bit.
threw it to the wayside.
Wah,
But
wah.
now that they have this duty finder, I'll probably queue for some shit when I'm bored.
I do like that they added like what feels kind of like a hunt element, like a special mob that you get extra credit for killing, because I feel like it's very fitting for Blue Mage. But yeah, even chat's saying Blue Mage is Pokemon but with spells.
I like it even more
Gotta
now
catch
that
'em all.
I played Final Fantasy IX and I got to play Kina, who is a Blue Mage, and I really enjoyed eating mobs to learn spells. I wish I could eat them instead
I
of
heard
having
you
to kill
talking.
them.
You were always so excited. I forgot to eat that
I'm
one.
Like, I'm gonna eat it.
I'm gonna eat it.
We need more eating in this game.
Mm-hmm. Gotta consume its heart or something. No.
Gross.
So that's another book I'm reading. Any of you?
No, we're not talking about book. It's not book time.
But it's an MMO book.
Next picture.
Awaken Online. A new mount has
You
also.
don't read. You listen to that shit.
I know, it's still books. A new mount has also been teased, which you're going to be able to see images for on the same website. Everyone is pretty much assuming that the mount is going to be obtainable through PvP because they're really only adding Blue Mage and PvP in patch 5.15.
And they add cool mounts to PvP. That's the only reason they get anyone to ever do PvP.
Makai was a really good incentive. That gear was gorgeous.
Because it's not fun.
Pretty.
Hopefully the new one will be fun. It's
It was
like
fun
based off the
before.
Nadim.
Yes, so the Danshig Nadim, and then the Unsal Haikar is, I guess, kind of what they're calling it. Haikar? I'm not really sure how they say that yet. I've only read it, so there you go.
It's pronounced haiku.
No. The mount looks like a Robo Gobby machine, and your head sticks out the top.
Do you think it sticks out, or like that helmet slaps down on it? So
I hope the helmet slaps
it's
down
like
on it.
a visor type
I
thing.
hope. Oh my god! I hope it's like a visor. So you look like it looks like a gobby miner, like kind of like robot thing, and you're in it, and the only part of you see is your little head going, "Hey guys,
See,
I'm in my robot."
This looks cool with a Lala. I don't think it's gonna look as cool with a Rogadin.
I think it'll look just as cool. It'll look. I hope it doesn't
Like,
clip the bunny ears.
It will be scaled. Oh, it's definitely gonna clip the bunny ears.
Don't ruin this for me.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna look as good with a big race in there.
Well, I mean, of course it's gonna look funnier on the Lalafell, but I don't think it's gonna look bad on the other ones. Ooh, Chili just shared a link of it in motion. I'm sorry, I must watch this. Play.
Okay,
Oh, so it does.
so-
The head does close.
Oh, this is definitely a PvP thing.
But it's all his back. Like, show me the face. Oh, and he flies. He's got like a jetpack. Okay, so the head does close.
Looks very dwarven,
Yes.
Which is weird considering it's
and
from
it's
the
not a
Nadim.
miner. It's actually a battle axe. I thought it was a mining pick. It looked like a mining pick from the shop they gave.
Oh, I wish you got this from mining. I'd get that shit so quick.
I actually think it'd be really cool if there was a mount that you obtained from like crafting and gathering.
Not anymore. They made it too damn easy.
Right. Well, gathering. I don't know.
Still super easy.
Oh.
Anyways.
Oh yeah. See, there's a higher in it. It still looks just as good.
It doesn't look as cool.
You're just a turd.
But I'll try to get it.
I think it scales properly. I think it looked really good, you guys. That link Chili shared, which actually I'm going to copy that link so we will have it for the show notes for you guys as well, because that was really cool to see.
Because you couldn't see the Instagram that Avi brought up.
No, I just tried to explain it for you.
All right.
All right, Pete,
this
remember
one's
to
for all you
click off of the image. There you go.
12-year-olds out there. We're talking about Fortnite.
Woo.
Right, Avi?
Woo.
For any of you that might be Fortnite players out there, you probably know the introduction of Chapter 2 was brought in with a black hole swallowing the universe. It was not unlike the end of an era in Final Fantasy XIV when they brought on the end of the world, the end of 1.0 with a calamity. Apparently, many people saw similarities, and according to a Trusted Reviews article with Yoshida, even people on the dev team brought up the similarities to Yoshida.
The problem is that like not many people were playing Final Fantasy at that time. And that's why they did it. It's because they didn't have enough players. So like,
well, they did it because the game sucked.
Because, well, the game could suck, but if people were playing it, they wouldn't care. Because people are playing it.
Are you trying to say Fortnite sucks, but people are playing it?
I've never played it, so I can't actually give that commentary. But it's like so popular that I'm just like, no thanks.
When asked about it, Yoshida explained it is hardly an original idea, and goes on to tell us about his experience in Ultima. He says, in older MMO titles like Ultima Online, when the world was ending, a lot of demons suddenly appeared and killed everyone. They all died, were resurrected, died again, and were resurrected again. It was quite messy, but that's the kind of thing older MMORPGs did.
Mm-hmm.
The developers just want players to enjoy the moment together, almost like it's a giant festival kind of thing.
I like festival kind of things.
That's probably why Fortnite made the decision to do this, and given it's Fortnite, players probably saw it as an even bigger surprise. And later on in this article, something I either didn't know or completely forgot about was that Yoshida has a son. And when his son was talking about Fortnite, he took the opportunity to school him on a bit of Final Fantasy XIV history. Yoshida said, "My son is in his first year of college, and he's a massive Fortnite fan. When I went back home, he came up to me saying, 'Fortnite is doing something really great. They're destroying the world, and you need to see it.' So I'm like, well, I actually did that 6 years ago." He learned through Fortnite that Final Fantasy XIV has actually gone through such a moment.
He's like, yeah, sure, Dad. That was like 6 years ago. Also, did anyone else in their head go, teaching Yoshi's kid lore so he'll learn some shit? In my brain, I was like,
I highly doubt anyone else did that, but I like that you did that.
I actually had a Fortnite moment. I told Pete this. It's a quick story, but I told him this at before the podcast. So I wore my TwitchCon, my San Diego TwitchCon shirt to work today because it's Friday, casual day. And I was waiting to get some lunch, and I was standing around my little timer thing, which is, I work on base. I work for the military. And the sailor walks by, and he's like, nice. And I was like, thanks. And he goes, you stream? And I was like, yeah. He goes, Fortnite? No. Oh. And he like
And then he
pouted.
dumped his chocolate milk on your head and walked away.
He like pouted and walked away. I was just like, oh my God. It's like, so if it's not Fortnite, it's not a video game. It's not worth watching.
And Yoshi P didn't say in the interview, but I'm sure as soon as he told his son that, his son went, okay, boomer, and walked away.
Oh no, that makes me sad. Yoshi's an okay boomer.
So there was an even lengthier interview with Yoshida this past week. It was from Chris Ray over at wccftech.com. And I found it pretty interesting on a few fronts. So let's go over some of the questions there.
Wait, Ian Cho just said, back in my day, we did this 6 years ago.
So Chris starts it off with, I suppose the thing I first want to talk to you about is the growth of Final Fantasy XIV. It's bigger than it's ever been before. You've got more users, more subscribers than ever before. What do you see as the driving reason behind this success?
And Yoshi answers, me. And
Mic drop and slap them in the face.
Duh. No. He says it's a difficult
Said,
question.
ask better questions.
Sorry. Because so many different elements have contributed. You may think it's been more of a natural thing given you're talking about an MMO title, but what we're trying to do with Final Fantasy XIV is release a major update every 3.5 months. It's hard to keep up this pace and release a large amount of content with a wide range of features, also with us working on releasing a major expansion every 2 years. On top of that, we're trying to give out lots and lots of different types of content and a bunch of different ways for players to also play. On top of that, it's how Final Fantasy XIV as a game design is established. It's not about forcing players to keep playing the game consistently. If you just consume everything with each major patch, then you've played everything. Then you can play other games. You can spend your time and plan around your personal timing, your personal schedule. If you want to come back...
Why are you paraphrasing this shit? This is a quote.
Because it's not translated well. If you want to come back to Final Fantasy XIV, you can come back and catch up very easily. Everyone has different hobbies and ways they want to spend their time. They're quite busy. Yeah, Pete, there was literally when they said everyone has different timing, everyone has different schedules was what the word that should have been put there. That's why I was doing that. Continuing on. There's more to this answer. Thanks to the game cycle that we've established, it's easier to accommodate the players and let them use their own time, which is kind of unique to Final Fantasy XIV. By keeping that up, it's brought the world of Final Fantasy XIV to the stage that we're at now.
So do you think he's accomplished that? Do you think I actually think they do a really good job of this. Whether you think it's a good idea or not, I think there's a significant portion of the MMORPG community that just wants to play one game and wishes it would keep them engaged the whole time,
right?
24 hours a day.
I don't think you're going to retain the majority of your players if you expect them to only play your game. I think it's really great. I don't think I would still be playing Final Fantasy XIV if it wasn't treated that way.
I definitely see you in the category that he's trying to cater to.
Yes. Because I generally change games every 2 years. Like, I can play MMOs, but after 2 years, I'm like, I need something else. And this has been difficult for me because this is the first time I'm like, oh, we're doing a podcast. I can't play something else. I got to keep playing the game because my hubby plays it and I love my community and everything. It's not saying I don't love the game, but I have that itch to like.
And I think that's what he's going for, because you definitely occasionally you scale back how much you play a Final Fantasy XIV.
Mm-hmm.
You might log in, chat with people, mess with your retainers, whatever.
Mess with my glamours.
But you don't really do that much content because honestly, once you do 24-man raid, if you're not doing end game raiding, you consume the content. And I'm talking about the general you, not you specifically. Right. You consume the content fairly quickly.
Yes.
And that's kind of like the double-edged sword. Like, yeah, it makes it really easy for you to catch up when you come back to the game, but at the same time, he's counting on it being a high enough quality that people do come back to it. Because whenever you say, "Oh, just unsub," you risk people not resubbing.
Yeah, they don't want you to unsub. But I do have to say, like, it's like I want to level other classes, but like we were just doing a stream on Wednesday a bit, and I was trying to play some Black Mage, and I do think part of my not enjoying it was the fact that I injured my wrist and it was a bit painful, but I didn't have fun playing just leveling Black Mage to level Black Mage, leveling Black Mage to find out if I want to play Black Mage. Like, I'm not a completionist, as I mentioned earlier. I don't collect things to collect them. I'm not going to level Black Mage to level 80 to level it to 80. I would level it to 80 to glamour it, maybe. That's about it. And so I'm going to give Red Mage a shot and see if that feels better. It's just a very different way to play the game than when I played it when it first started. And I wanted to do all the things and try all the things and experience them all. Now it's at like a measure of, am I enjoying what I'm getting out of the time I'm spending doing this on? Like, it's a very different way to approach an MMO, which I don't know that you can do in many MMOs, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. So next question from Chris is, I see Final Fantasy XIV as a prime example of a live service game gone right.
Whiskey Sours is next since Avi still doesn't want to do a real Long Island. Haha. Love y'all both. Glad to be back.
I totally forgot we have that.
I love that so much. That's from Sweezy. He just tipped us. I love that.
Thank you for that, Sweezy.
So, I love a whiskey sour, actually. And a Manhattans are great, too.
With the drink tip, with a $50 tip.
The $50 tips to get a whiskey sour made on stream.
Thank you so much.
I can do that. All right.
Did I even finish this question?
You can start it over because I stopped listening.
I see Final Fantasy XIV as a prime example of a live service game gone right. With some others, it seems that the games are simply dropped or the right content isn't released. Do you see the path to success is from content that makes players want to come back, not just content that's simply there to do?
There are different types of games out there. One is the offline title. Just release it and that's it. And the other type is live service, like an MMORPG. Having worked on both, I think the type of service is different. Of course, we create both the online and online titles, so we want players...
Offline and online.
What did I say?
Online and online.
Yeah, it did. To enjoy the games. That kind of thinking works into the development of both types of games. Speaking about the console game, we refer to that as a roller coaster cycle. You build up the excitement quickly, starting to play it and getting to the peak of it quickly, and then it starts to tailor off.
I call that the sex cycle.
You can still have this excitement in a short amount of time, but it still generates excitement. What's different in an MMORPG or online title, I'm just going to say right now personally, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And so, and this can also be said for Battle Royale games, is that we're creating a theme park. For the online title, it's important to have different types of activities so that people will want to come back to the gameplay. Because I did a roller coaster last time, this time I want to try out a merry-go-round. That's the basic mindset we have for an online service so that it repeatedly engages the players.
And I think they've done a pretty good job of achieving that.
I love the idea of thinking of Final Fantasy XIV as a theme park because they really do a wonderful job of, like, there's all these different kinds of things you can do. And you know what? If you don't like the Dumbo ride, that's okay. You don't have to like the Dumbo ride. That's for kiddies.
You just have to like the majority of stuff there, I would say.
You have to like the main.
Because I'm not going to fucking Legoland.
I worked there. I totally worked there. No, I mean, Legoland's great for like 9 to 13.
And that's what I'm saying. You gotta add enough stuff there's something there for everyone. And
like Pete will go to Disneyland with me because he knows I love it, but he wouldn't go there without me.
Well, I'd go there with Kate Upton.
Wouldn't go there by himself.
No, I definitely would not. But if like Legoland added a badass roller coaster, then I might go one time. But that's not going to get me to stay. I'll go ride it once, and I think that's what it's talking about.
Right.
You need to have enough you have to have enough attractions,
repeatable content,
and good enough attractions to be able to keep you back. And keeping on the theme park discussion, Yoshida went on to say, "All we are doing is offering those services to players."
Wait. I read Yoshida. Why are you doing this?
Okay.
Messing up my thing.
I was just trying to cut this in half.
It's been that way since we did the podcast. You can't take that away. All we are doing is offering those services to players. That's why we need to understand what the players want. It's very important, even in such as the food industry, where if you own a restaurant and you may want to ask your customers what they like and what they want to have on the menu. It's the same for a game service as well. So, since we are giving a service to players, it is important for us to understand what they like and what they don't like. Eureka.
Strip clubs.
You got that. Shut up. So, Chris, if something is like a theme park and somebody builds another type of theme park next to us, it is really important for us to go in and research what it is that they are offering.
They just want to play games.
This is also because the players have the freedom to do anything and essentially go where they want. They may come to us, but they could also go there and naturally compare them. It's really important for us to see what we can offer to make us unique, but also research and study our competitors. It's crucial to have the mindset where we see our surroundings and help raise us to that next level. So I think Yoshi P plays Fortnite. I think that's what he's saying right here. I played some Fortnite.
So we're getting Battle Royale next patch?
I think he totally has. He's been like, I played some Dead by Dawn. Mm-hmm.
Well, we know he's a World of Warcraft player. He has talked about that
How do you
before.
not play World of Warcraft? I mean, I don't understand still how you've never played World of Warcraft.
I played it for like a week.
That does not
when
count.
It first came out.
Like as
then
an
I went
MMO
right back
player,
to Dark
I feel
Age
like
of Camelot, a good MMO.
I feel like everyone played it for like a while, but you should always scope out the competition. Like not to is conceded.
Well, I wish he would scope out the one aspect of Elder Scrolls Online that I like, the side quests. Yeah. I'd love if there was a town in game that I had to help like take over, help the townsfolk.
And it actually like affects the way the town looks to you?
More than just going and getting some leaves to help your sick kid and make some tea out of it or some shit like that.
No more fetch. Well, they've been better about the fetch quests. And with 14, the story is always what people, they drive it by story. And I think what you're asking for is the story with the added aspect that the world looks different to you.
Yeah, I don't even care about the world. I mean, that city didn't really look different to me when I did it in ESO. We might be talking about a totally different city.
Oh, yeah, there's some cities that it's like people are fucking killing you in the city or they're not killing you in the city.
The only thing that changed was like the guards. But.
Oh, okay.
But it was still like way more immersive than, I don't want to say any side quests because Hildebrand's really good. But it also, voice acting adds a lot. And the fact that everything's voice acted in ESO
You're
is
just
pretty
lazy.
Cool.
No, I'm just kidding. I actually do like the voice acting.
So I think it's cool that they actually do scope out the competition.
I want an ESO Final Fantasy 14 crossover. Oh my god,
we talk about crossovers in a minute, but he does not list ESO.
That's the one I want.
They go on to ask, what I find interesting is your ability to draw on other Square Enix IPs such as Nier. Will you be looking at working with other IPs as well?
We just want to be careful when talking about the next crossover partner because something could be looked at as a confirmation. So the reason why we did this crossover is that the developers have a great amount of respect to the partner's title or IPs. We can create great quality content by working together with partners and their title. Basically, it has to be like mutually beneficial.
Basically, Yoshi P has to have drinks with another developer, and then they're like, let's touch tits.
Oh my god, you're my new bestie. We need to do stuff together. It's not that we're trying to generate buzz from players or media. Bullshit. Our main focus and basis for a crossover are that we want to work with someone who can create content together with us. I don't really want to specify just one or two titles. I want to work with as many great developers and creators as possible.
What a whore.
I have a couple of ideas, but these are strictly personal ideas, and this isn't any confirmation of working with these people or IPs. So, because I'm a big fan of Blizzard and now World of Warcraft has announced a new expansion with the word shadow in it, it would be cool to do some sort of crossover. Also, Diablo 4 has announced, and Diablo is the first online title I was really immersed in. It would be cool again to work with them. Speaking of for our sound director, Soken, he's a massive fan of Overwatch, so he would say he wants to cross over with Overwatch.
So he definitely wants to work with Blizzard.
Okay, so I said ESO. Is there any other game, Pete, that you'd be like, oh my god, I would love a crossover with them?
Ooh, I haven't played a lot of other games recently other than old Final Fantasy games.
I know.
He caught me off guard with that one, Avi. I'm trying to think of any games I've
you guys,
played
I got him
recently. I'd like for them to like occasionally do like if they did a dungeon with like a different type of genre, like I would like a dungeon that's like a horror type dungeon, like a Resident Evil, like scare you type dungeon or something like that. I don't have any game in particular. They're never going to do something
There's a lot of
that's as old as Dark Age of Camelot.
Chrono Trigger. There's a couple Chrono Triggers.
Sweet C says League of Legends.
Waiting for the Kingdom Hearts crossover. That's just basically Disney.
Could definitely see a Kingdom Hearts crossover there since it is Square Enix.
It would be like Sora and stuff, but I would love it if it was like we're in the Disney world. We get to cross over to their world somehow, like within our. I don't know. I want to see Disney characters. I'm really sad that like my hand hurts too much to play that game right now. Like I'm so sad.
I can play it for you. And
I might make you play my
and you watch
my save point, and then I'll be like, okay, bitch, you got to hand that over. I don't hurt anymore. I would actually fully do that.
Okay. Next question.
Keyblades. Yes. Oh my God. Ace said, I just want keyblades. Keyblades. I just want one keyblade, and not only like freaking people who carry swords. Like, I want a scholar keyblade. I don't want a keyblade book. I want a goddamn keyblade.
I'm going to go with Leisure Shoot Larry. I want some boobs in this game.
It's called mod, baby. It's called mods.
So how do you see the future of Final Fantasy XIV, and what will you be driving towards?
Now, we've expanded more and more, exploring uncharted territory.
Ooh, Uncharted's a good game.
We do feel like we're reaching the point of truly being a unique MMORPG. We have no intentions of stopping anytime soon and want to continue expanding, reaching out further and further. This quote was pretty bad.
Right. Let's make this a long one. So, you've mentioned that post Shadowbringers, you have some cool ideas for the future. Do you have anything solid about what the future of Final Fantasy XIV looks like? For example, expanding on dungeons or concerted efforts to a larger degree than in the past?
I lost where you're at. Oh, okay, here we go. Yes, look forward to it. No, I'm just kidding. I know there's a whole answer. That was my joke. He highlighted the text.
I didn't even know what the fuck you said.
I said, yes, look forward to it.
Amazing joke.
It's a Yoshi P joke.
So there are two big aspects.
No! Why? You don't even, like...
In that shirt of yours. Hey-yo!
I'm going to throw something. I'm going to throw my broken microphone at him. He doesn't like my jokes. So there are two large aspects that we can talk about at the moment.
It says big aspects.
I don't want to say big ass. The first is how the narrative will develop, and the second is how game content can expand in the future. Storyline-wise, we are currently nearing the end of the Hydaelyn Zodiac arc.
Can I say 1 second?
No.
Thank God. Tired of it. Been too long. Let's move on.
You're already sick of that arc?
Hydaelyn and Zodiac? It's been Hydaelyn and Zodiac since The Realm Reborn.
I know, but we're finally getting some freaking meat on this.
Let's go. Pick up the pace, baby.
So we are finally nearing the climax of that storyline. Told you, this is the marathon, not the sprint. Our hope is to make a very clean ending to the current arc that the characters will enjoy. Of course, this doesn't mean it's the end of Final Fantasy XIV. We may, I find may an interesting word to use there, expand for another arc that goes across several expansions, or we may take one expansion and make a one-off sort of storyline. We haven't reached any conclusion yet. We are still discussing it. What we don't want to do is keep continuing and resuscitating it just for the sake of continuing it. Thank goodness. All we want to do is bring out a great story experience for the players, one with a great conclusion. That's the center of our thinking.
I like little threads going through across expansions, but I wish they would get the main story its own story per expansion.
Yeah.
Because the fact that we got this Hydaelyn and Zodiacs from A Realm Reborn, and this is the third expansion since that, it's just the pace.
Yeah.
Like 6 years, something like that, to get the conclusion of a story that, honestly, if you were to like convert it to a TV show, it's probably done in 1 or 2 seasons.
Right. And well, and Chad also mentioned the Garleans. So he didn't mention the Garlean arc ending here. The Garleans are also something else I'm kind of burnt out with, but I can't see them ending the Hydaelyn Zodiac arc and the Garlean arc at the same time.
And let's call that what it is. It's like Hydaelyn and Zodiac, but that includes Scions. And it's like the Scions were like the big bad that you never really had much information on until this patch or until this expansion.
You mean Ascians?
Isn't that what I said?
You said Scions.
Scions? Oh, Ascians, yes.
You pulled a me.
Ascians.
Pulled a me. You're an Ascian.
Yeah, I was done with the Ascians for a while. Like, I didn't really care about the Ascians until Shadowbringers. Like, they gave them...
That was the point. Was to make you, to humanize them. And Asians were always just like this big bad. They were the big bad that was always bad because they're bad. And now they humanize them, and it helps us actually like understand that in their mind they were good, which I feel like any good villain thinks they're doing the right thing.
I definitely agree with that. I just think it took way too long to get there.
It doesn't mean it's the right. Oh, I agree. And so I'm hoping that the success of Shadowbringers sort of redirects the storytelling going forward.
And my whole thing is Yoshi P does make the direct comparison to TV occasionally with different seasons. And it's like TV's a different monster because you either have it an episode every week for 10 weeks. We get one episode every 3.5 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it's harder to keep a story engaging.
Yes.
With that sort of timeline.
I agree with that because you have some people who consume it slowly and you have those who binge it. And so it's the difference. And you binge it without
I'm
an
a
end.
binger, baby.
And I'm not.
You're like, I'll do one quest.
I'll do once a week.
That'll keep me satisfied.
Even with shows, like I like having like a show to look forward to each week.
It's
Pete's
infuriating.
like he wants to watch them all at once. So yeah. Okay.
So that's the extent of our interviews. And now we have, I don't know whose favorite segment. So everyone's favorite segment.
This is everyone else's favorite segment.
Everyone's favorite segment is the Greenleaf Minute.
Yeah.
Your favorite segment is the Tweet of the Week. So is this my favorite segment?
This is the segment that we need to redo the music for. We need to redo the audio and the music are more
I think it
separate.
sounds pretty good.
We've had multiple people comment. All right, this is an easy question, Pete.
I doubt it.
Name the 3 icons of the Warring Triad.
What do you mean icons? Like ICON or EIKON? Icon.
What's
Icon?
that book? You're making words up now.
What the fuck are you talking about? Icon. EIKON.
ICON. What says it said ICON in the encyclopedia.
Did it really? All right, one is Sephiroth.
Okay.
One is Zervan.
Oh, he is right. Well, I have to double check the book. I think it was EIKONS.
One is Zervan.
Okay.
Shit. What was the third one? Come on. You got it.
You guys, the way he was spelling it, I was like AIOKN. So who was your first one?
Sephiroth, and I have Zervan.
What other trial was during that time?
I'm trying to think.
Think about the mounts,
Was
maybe.
it Sophia?
Was it?
I wanted to say Nidhogg, but Nidhogg's not part of the Warring Triad. I guess I'm gonna go with Sophia.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
You are finally correct.
Hell yeah.
And this
Got it.
this is-
Never gotten one wrong.
This is me making questions for you, Pete. Now that I'm not in school, I'm making you questions.
Because the listeners always try to stump me.
Mm-hmm.
You're just doing general knowledge. I can get general knowledge every now and then.
You missed my last 2 questions. This is the first of my questions you've gotten right, actually. You don't like which one is not. You're not good at those ones.
Yeah, I think about it too much. I just need to make a decision, stick with my gut.
Yes.
Gut's never wrong.
Except when it's gurgly.
All right, so I had originally written down these few points that we have left to get through for last episode, but we went pretty long.
I do want to point out that Pete actually didn't remind you guys that the community roundup, again, you're going to want to probably get in our On Deck channel soon because it's going to be after discussion.
Yeah, we're going to go through this shit quick.
Okay.
Because the restoration of Ishgard, Avi, I just want to talk about it a little bit. Do you think it will be a housing zone?
I do think they are because I think it's too hyped up. I think that the players would be really, really, really disappointed if it wasn't, and it's so assumed that it is.
Just from the text that we've gotten through doing the little bit of it, I definitely think it's going to be a housing zone.
I actually haven't done. I was really into doing it for a while, and then I just don't craft, and it's so much crafting, and I just can't craft every day.
I wasn't 100% convinced because a lot of people posted pictures of like an overhead shot of the zone where like houses would be, but I was like, doesn't it really look like there's room for a yard in all of those spots. So I
But
wasn't.
the fact that they did that says, look at the housing zone. This
And
will
then-
be your plot.
Apparently, with data mining, they said that it's like classified as a housing zone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, I actually didn't see that. Well, that's
it's a
good.
housing zone.
It is good for leveling.
Yes. So that's the second point I had. If you are still leveling your crafters and gatherers, I think you have to be a minimum level of 30 for this. Start with the level 31. Don't try to go on to the highest level one. Or if you're inexperienced with crafting, do not go on to the highest level one.
No, I didn't do that. You're acting like I went to the one that matched my level, which was the middle level one.
If you don't know how to craft,
There you go.
don't try to.
There you go.
Start with the lowest one.
There you go.
Work your way up.
I'm better now. Much better now.
You are. And that's actually like something I wanted to talk about. You had never really been into crafting other than buying items off the market board to level your crafters,
Well, let me
just
say-
so you had them leveled to make your own housing items, because that's what you care about, and that's a perfectly valid
And
reason.
repair my own gear.
Definitely.
That was why I leveled them, was so that I could repair my own gear. That was how I leveled. But I actually want to add to that. I still think it's very important. Like, if you get your crafters to level 71, so that through the Grand Company turn-ins, just fucking do those Grand Company turn-ins. That way you can equip the level 71 or 72 gear that you buy from the vendors. You're gonna, like, those... It's so much easier to craft all this stuff. Any of the level 70 gear is nowhere near as good as the level 71 or 72 gear. So the biggest thing I can say for people who don't craft is, like, do your Grand Company turn-ins to get whatever your crafters are to level 71 or 72. I don't know off the top of my head. I apologize. Which one gets you the gear? But, like, get that vendor gear from the Crystarium and equip it and buy the tools and everything, and you'll just be like, and the good thing is you buy it for like one set, and then you can equip it on all your crafters. And that made the reason I sucked so bad when I started is I was trying to do it on level 70 gear, and I also didn't realize that I had like level 55 accessories on, and like my gear was so bad. And also the fact that when I asked Pete if it mattered, if the quality mattered, he said no, but collectability and quality
I thought you were
are
making a
the
subcomponent.
same thing. There's no. So they're the same thing, so don't listen to your husband.
Or wife.
Also, I don't want to say Asolo Rogue said that I did the same thing. They bought their left side gear and made the right side HQ, and then made HQ of the tools. If you can get your carpenter to level 71 first, that is actually all of the accessories at that level are made out of wood. So that would actually be a really good route to go. Get your carpenter to 71 first, and then you can make all of the accessories. And most of the ingredients are really, really cheap. And the accessories that you make that don't come out HQ, you can sell on the market board. So it's not like a failure. It's like okay, someone else will buy it.
Know what else is made of wood?
Your nose.
Clogs. Keenan Nebulo says, so what about people that are level 50 and lower as crafters? I would say do your grand companies. That's one of the easiest ones, and you can buy it.
Like what I do, so with my Grand Company turn-ins, I buy them from the market board because I'm lazy, but I have like a price point. Once you do it a few times, you kind of see what the things go for, and I will also look up the turn-in item and find out if I can buy it from a vendor, because some of the turn-ins you can actually buy from a vendor. So like make sure you check if you can do that. You're not going to be able to buy HQ, but you'll usually save a lot of money, and you can buy some extra ones from the vendor and put them up on the market board and sell them to the people who are just buying it. And of course, as Cater Pants said in chat, leaves are always wonderful to do if you're willing to put in the effort. But if you're like me and you're like, fuck effort, that's my tip.
Leaves are really good. If you're, I believe, level 30, I could be wrong on that if someone wants to correct me in chat, you can unlock the Ixal for a Realm Reborn. And then I believe once you get to 50 or 51, you can unlock the Moogles in Heaven's Ward. And then 60, 61, you can unlock the Namazu in, what's that called? Stormblood.
And I do want to say, and I know this is like, as much as you're spending on the items you're turning in for the grand companies and stuff like that, make sure you're decenting things now, because the decenting is so much easier.
Everything.
And you can sell all of those things. And also the Namazu quest, like the Moogles suck. I haven't even done them. The Moogle quest, Pete was so traumatized from that I refused to unlock it.
No, the Moogle Beast Tribe is not bad. The fact that you had to do basically every freaking quest in that zone to get to the Moogle quest was annoying.
So the Namazu is really, really fun when you get to that level. It's actually really enjoyable, and you get their adorable little bell necklace. So I do think that when you get your crafters or gatherers at the level to do them, it's totally worth doing. I don't either, Cater. It's okay not having them unlocked.
Yeah, because you couldn't just do the MSQ and then all of a sudden it was unlocked. You had to do so many freaking side quests that were shit. They sucked.
He was so mad. I didn't even try. I was like, okay, bye, Moogles. So I still love the Moogles. I think they're sweet and adorable and cute. I have no animosity toward them at all.
Only Moogle I like is that one bent over in the Mog Station logo.
Okay. If you guys have not looked at that, then you should. There's a whole meme going around the internet. Look at when you go to the Mog Station, tell me whether or not that is just a Moogle or it's a booty of a Moogle who's bending over.
Definitely a butthole. So, it's Restoration of Ishgard. That's what we're talking about. It's really good for leveling if you're level 30 or above. I actually,
if you can get there.
And like I was saying, I really like that it's getting people into crafting because you actually learned a little something about crafting because of this. You started to actually pay attention to what all your abilities did, and after you learned that, you learned how to HQ. You probably don't remember now.
No, I think I paid attention to 6 abilities. Like you say, all my abilities. I think it was 6 abilities.
To be able to HQ stuff, you don't need all your abilities for this stuff. But yeah, I really like that it got people into crafting that hadn't previously done it. It's really nice being able to repair your own gear. I do have a gripe, though.
Oh, of course you do.
Do you know, and this is separate of Restoration of Ishgard, when you queue for content, now once the queue pops, it tells you if you're low, if your gear is low, like below 10% or something like that?
Yeah. No, it's below 30%, which I find annoying.
What I find annoying is that it tells you after your queue pops.
Oh.
Why doesn't it tell you when you queue for something?
And you can't repair anything?
Yeah, and you're like, okay, thanks for letting me know that I'm going to be shit in this dungeon.
It annoys me because I'm like, well, yes, I actually agree with that it's a little late for that, but it's also that's not broke enough for me. I'm not going to repair my gear when it's at 30%.
We're going to risk it, baby.
I'm going to get it to 19. I want it to be 20% or lower.
That's not bad for a dungeon, but if you're going into Savage and you're
that's different.
When you're progging it and you know you're going to wipe a million times, you're like, shit.
I think I did when I did the 24-man raid, your gear has just hit 0%. I was like, I'm going to repair that right now. Y'all just going to wait for your healer.
I never repair until I have to. I'm like, repair in mid-battle. Let's do it.
Chili just said, I get 50%. I'm running to fix it. That's how I was before I repaired my own gear. I was really obsessive about keeping it at 100% all the time when I paid the NPCs to repair my gear. But when I do it myself, I want to get the maximum for my efforts. I don't know. I wanted to let it get as low as I can and then let it kind of spike back.
Okay, so I did talk about a few good things about this. I like that it's good for leveling. I like that it's getting...
like the glamour. That's the tank top with the thing that ties around your waist that I don't
good
have
rewards.
Because my husband should buy it for me because he loves me.
Had good rewards. But I do want to crap on it a little bit.
You're the shit.
It was a kind of crappy experience. It was over way too soon.
Is it already done?
For this patch.
So when the fates ended initially, that was the end of it?
I don't even know if there were multiple types of fates for this.
I never got to see one.
I got to see... No, I actually didn't even participate in one.
I didn't either.
I had to go on to YouTube and watch what a fate was.
Oh, I haven't even done that. Was it cool?
No, it's fucking boring.
Oh.
You ran to one spot, you hit it, if you're doing a collection fate or something like that, you hit that, then you went to another station. It was collect the materials, cut the wood, go assemble it. And it was just random, just going from station to station, clicking shit.
I mean, that's kind of cool that they have something like that.
It's not cool at all.
But it's not cool that it's something so simple that was hoarded the way it was.
It should have been okay, we need 9,000 of this item. Everyone start crafting. Let's see who can craft the most.
I really hope they up the difficulty of every, not difficulty, I guess, but the like amount needed of everything for the next one so that it.
Yeah, that was my biggest gripe. It was over way too soon.
And that they lower the EXP gained or the items gained from doing the fates or something so that like it's open to more people. They made the rewards so too good. And then that no one got to experience that. And then like that end, honestly, it's like once I found out all the fates ended, I don't even know why, but I suddenly was just like, I guess I'm done. Sorry. God damn it, Cater Pants. He just typed in chat, make it last a bit longer, and then responded, Cater's wife, 2019. And I was done.
Just happened. Before 19, she was good.
And Chili did comment they didn't expect everyone to jump onto the servers and do the fate chains. They thought they would just come on to help.
And they even said they thought about that.
They encouraged it.
But it's like, it was supposed to be like a fucking server race. Yeah. Why wouldn't you keep it server locked?
Yeah.
So that was idiotic. And they're like, oh, we didn't foresee it was going to be that big of a deal. Well, then you were dumb. People are going to, it's like water. It's going to find the easiest fucking path. People are going to go server to server, following the fucking fates, getting as much XP and scripts as they can because everyone knows Glamour's true endgame.
But I do have to say that overall, I think it was a win.
I like the idea. I hate the implementation of it.
I don't hate all of the implementation of it.
I mean, it was over within a week.
Which means the implementation of it wasn't bad. It was just too short.
What? Okay. I'll give you that. Whatever. I'm not going to argue minutia.
Well, timing is different than the actual like execution.
Whatever the turn-ins they had that got us to the max level or whatever, at the minimum, they have to times it by 20.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening. They should, but I agree.
These patches last 3.5 months. I want us to finish at 3 months.
Yeah.
We can have half a month of finished. It should take us 3 months to finish these fucking
I agree.
restorations.
They need to consider that. It should take a really fucking long time. I think they were worried about, well, one, I don't think they realized how many people would show up for it. It was really interesting to see the streamers and the YouTube players showing how many people were logged on midday first day. Like so many people took that day off and like logged on for it. So I think more people were doing it than they expected. And so I think they need to take that into account and then just make it too hard. I think they were worried about it being too hard and people wouldn't do it.
So they're asking, Reason's asking slowest server at 3 months, but how long will fastest take then? I want the fastest to be done at 3 months. That's what I was saying.
It does, because it doesn't have to be done by the next patch.
And then at 3 months, you can take off the server restrictions. So you have half a month of everyone wanting the XP or just wanting to help. And then you can transfer servers and help out. I don't even know what the low population servers anymore. It used to be Zalaria. I have no idea if it's that anymore.
I like that.
Curious what this is going to look like in the future, because they are going to be adding leaderboards. And so it will kind of be like the feast where you can see how many points you have. That's pretty interesting to me. But that's about all I have on restoration. Anything to add?
I think that it was a pretty good conversation about it.
And the last thing I wanted to talk about was I went into Eureka. I guess it wasn't this week. I typed this up 2 weeks ago.
You went with me.
Yeah. After the previous episode where KK McLeod called in and said, you know, it's crazy good XP now. He said, I don't know if it's going to be that fun for you, but it is easier to do. Mm-hmm. And he's right.
Yep.
You do get much more XP. I was in Pagos and had the Echo in there.
And you were a couple levels ahead of me.
Yeah, but I'm in Pagos, so I don't know if the Echo will be in later Eureka zones. Maybe someone can inform us on that. I was able to pull a few at a time.
So Pete went
as a tank, and
I'm
talking about my solo experience.
Oh,
right
I didn't
now.
know you did a solo.
I did it solo.
I didn't know that. I thought you were talking about when we did it together.
And so I was able to do like 3 or 4 at a time without being too close to dying.
That's what she said.
That was with my aggro stance, not my shield stance.
Chili says that it's in all Eureka zones.
It's in all Eureka zones. So I was able to do it for about 40-ish mobs before I got bored as shit and left. And
So we did go in, as I was saying, as you were a tank and I was a healer, and we kind of talked about how it would probably be more fun with a minimum of 3 people.
Yeah, I think with 3, you get a decent amount of XP for the actual mobs.
Yeah.
And then you actually have the speed as well.
Like, it's doable with 2. It's fully doable. It's doable with 1, as you just said, but it's slower. And with 3, it would be just fast enough that you're like, you've got that DPS, you've got that healer, you've got that tank. You're just kind of, you're able to like easily go boom, 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 boom.
I'd go in with a tank and 2 DPS. I don't think you really need a healer.
I agree with that. Maybe make sure one of those DPS can res. Just because it's annoying when you die.
And we will say there is still a release penalty.
I forgot about that.
Avi died and forgot about it and released and lost a little bit of XP.
You make me sound like I suck. I didn't just die because our poll was bad. I died because we were like following a bunny and the bunny ran us into some like really high level shit. And then I got one shot and I was like, oh yeah, that happened.
I will say it was a little funnier than that because I was leading and I saw the level 40 mobs and I stopped and said, oh shit, high level mobs. And then you ran right by me.
No, I like jumped. I dropped down the edge, and then I died.
This was the second time you died. You ran right by me into the mobs, and it was hilarious.
I don't know, but yeah, I died, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. All right.
So I do still want to get Eureka just so I can get that fucking Ozma mount.
It is a great mount.
All right, community. Oh, I did that wrong. Community roundup, partner.
What were you doing?
I was just going to go, community roundup, guys.
No.
Let's get hype.
No.
All right, looks like we got someone on deck. A friend of the show.
Who's that?
From She Heals, I Tank, we have Chili. Chili, are you able to hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Chili. How are you doing tonight?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How about you?
Avi, you turned it up way too loud.
Well, I turned him up and then it sounded okay and then it went loud. Okay, you're good now.
Mr. Chili, you're right, car pants.
Okay,
Mr.
Chili, what do you got for us tonight?
I'd like to shout out something that I went to just before this podcast, actually.
Was it a Starlight Carol?
Yep, it was a Starlight Carol by Stelazio Virtual Theatre. It was an incredible show. I do recommend everyone to, if they can make a character on Doublers, to please turn up to future showings. There'll be one tomorrow, and then there'll be 2 on Sunday. Trust me, it was an incredible experience, especially, they did an amazing job.
So they're on twitch.tv. It's Stelazio is STELLAZZIO Virtual Theater.
Yep.
And I'm posting a trailer to it in chat right now because this was the community roundup I had in case anyone didn't call up.
Oh, sorry, Pete.
Zainaba actually messaged me earlier to talk about this too. If you can't catch them live, you can go to twitch.tv/Stelazio Virtual Theater and Stelazio spelled STE.
I just did that. You so don't listen to me. I literally spelled it out. I just spelled it out.
Well, you think we got the mind meld going on, baby. I don't hear what you're saying, but it's good ideas.
Oh my god! Go ahead, Chili. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna probably stream it myself on Moogle Go Around this Sunday because I want to go back to watch it again, and that's the next time I can actually go because we're busy tomorrow, aren't we?
We are. That was the other community roundup we were going to talk about if we didn't hear from you.
Yes, Moogle Go Around is celebrating Christmas special because it was the only time I could get everyone on at the same time because
it's an annual tradition.
It's a busy month.
Yes.
So we'll be playing a very. By the way, there won't be much fantasy news. Probably that'll be the next episode. But we will be playing a very special game that I love the most. It's not Final Fantasy 14. Actually, I love that the most, but one of my favorite games of all time, KFC Dating Simulator.
Hey yo!
And Pete and I have never played this.
I've started to pick people because we're going to voice act it.
Okay.
Because it's a visual novel. So each guest will have their own role.
Yeah, Chili's already assigned us our roles. And so if you're like Cater Pants in chat's like super excited, they're very familiar with it. So this will be at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Saturday, which is tomorrow. And we will likely be intoxicated because that is also a tradition of the Moogle Go Round Christmas special.
I'm just going to keep it going tonight. I'm not sleeping. I'm just drinking.
I'm sleeping.
Yeah, well, to be fair, you'll be just enough drunk then for Moogle Go Round. I mean, remember that year I nearly got broke into? Good times.
Oh, yes. It's always fun. I love that we have our little tradition. I think it's wonderful.
But there will be another episode after this one as well.
Oh.
Because we're going to cover the live letter, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be 2 weeks after. Yeah, 2 weeks after. Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks after. Brain hard.
Live letter is next week.
So yeah, it'll be the week after that.
And go ahead.
We'll have Taro TV. He does some YouTube content creation. I enjoy some of his videos. And Mione on that show as well.
Oh, I love him.
Awesome.
We need to have Mione back here again. He's a sweetheart.
Lots of guests for Moogle Go Around this month.
It's going crazy. Look at all your organization, Chili.
I hate it. I'm rubbish at it. Why am I doing this?
You're good at it, sweetheart.
That's why I made a podcast with just 2 people. I did not want to wrangle people up.
So yeah, remember to listen tomorrow where we'll have Vegan Pete, RV Ale, Flatters from Maelstrom Radio, and Shinta from Maelstrom Radio.
Oh, yay!
All ready for it.
It's going to be so much fun.
Pete and Pete.
All right, I'm going to add, can I add a Moogle Go, or not Moogle Go Around, a community round?
I'm sorry, Avi, we're out of time.
So, if you guys remember, we did our fundraising campaign, the anti-bullying Ditch the Label campaign, and if we reached whatever our amount was, I don't remember, I would do a cupcake baking stream, and we reached it 3 times over. So I've decided that the first cupcake live baking stream is actually going to be next Sunday, December 15th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm taking Pete's normal Final Fantasy stream time slot, because that's how it works, Beba. I love you. He didn't know this until just now. I shared it with you on Google Calendar. You should have known. So I'm going to be live streaming from our super tiny kitchen.
This will also probably be the first day of our Extra Life campaign.
Okay. You can deal with that. My brain can't even handle that right now. So, from 11 a.m. and, we'll be streaming from our super tiny old house kitchen. So it'll be definitely interesting to watch.
Bigger from the inside.
That's not at all how that works. And I'm going to be making a peppermint Irish car bomb cupcake, which if you are unfamiliar with the Irish car bomb, it's, Guinness, Baileys, and Jameson. So it's delicious, and we're gonna have some peppermint in there as well. And then that was actually the first craft beer cupcake, even though Guinness isn't a craft beer. It's the first beer cupcake I ever made for my business. And then because the reason I'm making that cupcake is because I'm gonna go over different holiday decorating techniques for your cupcakes to try to share some like easier ways for people who don't necessarily know how to decorate a cupcake, show you how to do it. So that again will be Sunday, December 15th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully, if all things go to schedule. Might be later. We'll see how that works out.
And Sweeties and whiskey sours.
And whiskey sours. I don't know. We'll see. Pete will have to make them for me. So it's going to be one of those, we're literally going to be live. So I bought a wireless microphone. I bought an extension USB cable for our cameras, so it's going to be run to our kitchen, and then Pete is going to be responding and reading out Twitch chat to me because I won't be able to see any of it while I'm in the kitchen. So it's definitely going to be an experience, and after this we'll be doing 2 more because that's how well the fundraising went. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and yeah.
I got distracted. We got some Bushumi butt.
It's Buscemi emotes, but this is actually Mila.
Yeah, this is Mila, not Buscemi.
Mila.
It's an exclusive.
I know. She never shows up. She's been really into like getting pet lately.
And we saw her butt for a while.
She likes it spanked. Like that's all she likes.
Ooh, we're gonna get banned from Twitch for cat butt.
I'm amazed she hasn't left yet because he hasn't spanked her butt yet.
All right, so
she's waiting for my speedy outro.
Oh yeah, Pete, but we got. I think anything else that you want to add for community roundup?
I think that's everything I had. Definitely check out A Starlight Carol. I'm going to be joining them on Sunday for that stream. I don't think I'll be streaming it. I kind of just want to enjoy it.
What is this?
A Starlight Carol.
So this coming Sunday?
Yes.
So you're going to? We can host it.
We can host it.
There you go.
All right, that's all I got.
So Chili, it's all you.
Do you have someone you want to shout out?
He's got his thing.
someone.
You said you don't even know.
I'd like to shout to Things I Radio Musical FFXIV. Oh god damn. Oh.
Wait, Chili, start over. No, stop.
Stop.
Take a deep breath and pause and start over. Because you deserve a second chance on that because you got too excited.
Musicals actually gathered together, but she hears the time. Things I Radio Moogle go around here, Stella XIV, and Sly the Fox, because I watched him earlier.
Hell yeah.
That was so much better. I'm so proud of you.
Good job, Chili.
I get it, dude, because I oh god, I got a new thing right now, and the fuck, I messed it up.
I really should just write a list so I can actually don't have to try and remember them.
It would make your
thinking
life
about them
so
is harder
much
than actually
easier.
saying them.
Like I still do want to. I do think we should do like a speed test, but like with you and me, like doing that. But I would have them written down in front of me.
Yeah, I would need it right. If we're doing a speed test, I would need to write it down so I
write
can
it down.
actually.
So we could write one down. We should do that for next month. Actually, you want to do that for next month's community roundup, like where we have people call in. Well, like you can write out who we're gonna do, and then I'll do it, and then you'll do it.
Okay. Does the stream like that idea? A speed off?
I like it. Pete doesn't like it, but I think that's okay. We'll each do it once. It's gonna take 10 seconds each. Yes.
Just like
Same
sex.
one. Yes. They got the SH.
All right, we'll do it.
I'm all about Six from Blossom, guys. I am that old that Six from Blossom was like my mentor. I was like, I will talk like her one day.
Okay, boomer.
Oh, bitch, I'm gonna cut your face.
All right, thank you so much, Chili. Have a good rest of your night.
Talk to you later. We'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/MoogleGoRoundRadio.
Remember to subscribe to these guys first.
I like how he always cuts out too soon.
Yeah. All right, let's get to some listener reaction.
Speaking of chili.
This was in regards to a question someone asked. If you could gift someone partner status on Twitch, who would you gift it to? Chili said, I would probably give it to @tastypeach_inc due to how often she streams along with the art content and gaming. Then I would give it to @SheHeals because I enjoy the podcast. Plus, they do streams during the week. Can't wait for Pete to finish. Oh, I got to burp. Final Fantasy IX tomorrow.
I could tell during that entire read, I was like, Pete forgot to talk.
And
how to talk.
Thank you so much, Chili, for making us your second choice.
And then Chili kind of set off the next set of tweets. So, again, congratulations to Pete for finally beating Final Fantasy IX, the best Final Fantasy game out there. And I can't wait to see Final Fantasy VIII next week, the third best Final Fantasy game. But one question, will you play a children's card game with me?
And a lot of opinions on what the best
Well,
Final
you didn't
Fantasy
answer.
14
Will you
game
play a
is.
children's card game with him?
I am not saying yes to that until I find out what the children's card game is.
Everyone in chat saying he did the thing.
I'm leaning towards no.
Oh.
Because I don't know what it is yet.
I get not agreeing to something until you're confident.
And
about
like
it.
I said, lots of opinions on the best Final Fantasy game. Death Monkey XL Gaming says, Chili. We all know that 6 is the best Final Fantasy game, but still, grats, Pete. Thank you so much.
There was another tweet that said you forgot the X in there, but for 10, but it was like super short and it was kind of illogical and trying to tie it in. So somebody was saying 10, and then the Zero Uno says, "Whoop! Congratulations, Pete!
I did a thing.
I'm so proud of you.
I didn't do it easily.
He
either.
finally completed.
I made it hard
something.
on myself.
He finished.
Hey, I finished 10. Now I finished 9.
Next, you get to finish 8.
Hell yeah.
Magic of numbers.
So I'm starting this weekend. Final Fantasy 8. Tune in. Shields, I tank something.
Look at, she's like, the cat's actually hanging out with us. I seriously, you guys, the more I spank her butt, the more she wants to hang out with me. You don't believe, that's all she wants. Is just spank her booty.
For our podcast listeners,
Need the new
she
7
slaps
this
her-
spring. So that's like the cool thing is that like hopefully Pete will be done with 8 by the time 7 comes out, and he'll just be able to go to the, like, not that it's like in the tradition of him experiencing the older versions, but it'll be kind of cool to time the stream with the release.
All right, we're rambling. Take us on out, Avi.
All right. Normally I'm the one trying to end it. So that is going to be it for this episode. As always, we've enjoyed hanging out with all of you live here on Twitch. So thank you so much for spending your time with us. Be sure to hit that follow button so next time you'll know the next time we will be going live. And a great big thank you to everyone listening to the podcast through iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, and you know, you really are the reason we keep making episodes. And remember, wherever you do listen. It would mean a shit ton to us if you gave our little shit podcast a rating or review. Or, more importantly, just tell a friend to check us out.
Most important thing you can do. Tell a friend.
Here with my ridiculous husband, Vegan Pete, I am Avi Ale, and we will talk to you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.